seeing as we have a little bit time left for another just get to know you game, I'll ask you another question. I like asking interesting questions. If I gave you $1 million US dollars, if I gave you $1 million US dollars right now, what is the first thing you would buy?
$1 million.
You don't have to spend all the money at once, but what is one thing you would definitely buy that you can't buy now, or that you don't want to buy now?
$1 million is not enough to me for buy I want.
So what do you want to buy? What if I gave you $100 million?
I want to buy a penthouse.
Oh my gosh, I'd love a penthouse. I'd love a penthouse. The other day I was teaching young students, and a boy asked me, "Teacher, do you like money?" I said, "Yes, I love money." That's a very dumb question to ask me, my boy. If I didn't like money, I wouldn't be teaching you now, obviously. All right. So, Ms. Trang, what I'm going to do in today's lesson is we are going to do some of the work in the book that we have, the communication book, the conversation starter. But what I'm also going to be doing is just not evaluating you, but I'm going to get to know your abilities more so that I know how to teach you better. So if it seems to you that you're not learning anything today, don't be too worried. I'm just assessing, trying to make sure that I'm able to teach you better in our next lesson on Monday. So first of all, you want to learn English to communicate better, or do you want to learn English for another reason? Are you perhaps moving abroad, or what's your main objective for learning English?
I want to learn English to talk, to discussion with their professional for my work.
Okay, so it's professionals in your field where you work?
Yes.
All right. And are there any words that are perhaps difficult in English when you are speaking to a professional? For example, in English we call it jargon. Jargon is words that we use in a specific field. That's a good word to remember, jargon. For example, if I am a medical doctor, I would speak about words like respirators. I would speak about words like vaccination. These are words that you mainly use in the medical field. In the field of law, we would use words like adjudicate. We would use words like sidebar. These are all words we use in that field. So what are some words that will pop up in your field? Do you understand the question?
Can you repeat it?
So, are you familiar with the English word jargon? Do you know what that means? Jargon?
Jargon? No, I don't know what.
So the word jargon, that means a certain type of word in a specific professional field. So, for example, you get things like medical jargon. Medical jargon are words that are very popular in the medical field, like vaccination, quarantine, respirators, medicine. These are words that are associated or that go together with the medical field. Then you get computer jargon. So computer jargon are words that are very popular with computers. For example, hardware, software,
Okay.
update. So those words are very popular when you are talking about computers. So if you know a lot about dance, of course, you do know a lot about dance. So I could use words like plie and sidestep and counting and 4-count, 2-step, 8-step, whatever. So those are words that are associated with dance. So what are some words that are associated in your field?
It's my work.
That's okay. This is good. This is good. So how do you feel about giving you tasks? How would you feel if I gave you, I'm not going to give you homework, but how would you feel if I gave you some tasks to do that would take you perhaps only
Yes, okay.
15
I'm
minutes
okay.
to help you? All right. I already have 2 to give you. Okay. No problem. We're getting somewhere. Cool. Now, let's quickly jump into the content here. Give me a second. I haven't used this in quite a while. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
What do you see at the moment? What can you see on the screen?
Okay, what are you from? I see it.
Where are you from? Okay, exactly. Now, like I said, we're keeping it very, very basic, and we're going to move faster and faster. So, in many countries, there are different ways people greet each other, of course. In America, in the UK, in Australia, many Western countries, people shake hands, obviously, when they meet someone. And in Japan, people bow to each other. My brother lives in Japan, and my brother says he hasn't bowed so many times in his life. He's always bowing to people. And in India, I know this because I have many Indian friends back in my country. I'm from South Africa, by the way. I'm from Namfi. A lot Indian people always put their hands together and bow their heads. What is a way that people greet each other in body language in Vietnam? How would people greet each other here? Using body language. So do people shake hands in Vietnam? Do they bow? How do people say hello in Vietnam? If there isn't a way, then that's also fine.
In Vietnam, they say
do people just wave to each other?
Yeah.
So do professional people shake hands in Vietnam?
Can you repeat it?
Do professional people shake hands in Vietnam?
Yes.
So is that the most common way to greet someone that you are introduced to? Let's make an example. Here's an example. I go to your place of work and I meet you for the very first time. You have a friend and your friend says, Nico, this is Ms. Trang. Ms. Trang, this is Nico. What would we do? Would we bow? Would we shake hands? What would we do?
In Vietnam, we shake hand.
Shake hands. All right.
Yes.
And of course, people say xin chào to say hello. But do people really say xin chào? When you greet a Vietnamese person, do you say xin chào? Or do you just say hello?
Xin chào.
Xin chào. Okay. All right. Because in that's something we're going to talk about. We will talk about that later. So in English, there's a term called casualty or casual language. So we get formal English. Formal English, of course, is very big words like good afternoon, to whom it may concern. People don't speak like that. We only speak formal English in formal situations. And then we also get slang, but many people don't speak slang all the time. If I met you for the very first time, I wouldn't speak slang. Do you know what slang is?
Slang is
It's
No.
okay if you don't know how to explain it, it's fine. But do you have an idea what it is? So the word slang basically just means using words that are not part of the language, or
Yes.
they mean something totally different, but you use it to portray, to make another meaning. For example, if a good example is coffee, all right? The correct word is coffee, but many people use slang words for coffee, and they'll use the word Java. Java does not mean coffee, but people will use the word Java when they are using slang.
Okay.
All right. So we get slang and we get formal. Slang is the way that young people usually speak, 17, around that age, and also people who are very good friends. If I'm very good friends with you, I'll use slang because only we know what that word means. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, but now in this class we're going to be using casual English. It's not formal, but it's also not slang. All right. I'm sure you were aware of that, but just to make sure you understand. Okay, so I'm going to put you in a small situation. We're going to skip here to speaking on the train. All right, so I don't know if the screen is too small for you, but if you can't read that, it's fine. Are you able to read what it says here?
Yes, I see that.
Okay, great stuff. Awesome. Okay. So obviously, this letter A matches with number 4. Terrible weather today, isn't it? That's very casual. Sorry. That's very casual English. Would you mind reading this for me, please?
Terrible English. Terrible weather today. Isn't it?
All right. So you would use that at a bus stop.
At the bus
Now,
stop.
so why do you think, and I know this is a difficult question, I'm throwing you in the deep end, but please don't worry. Why do you think we would say terrible weather today, isn't it, at a bus stop? Why would we use that sentence at a bus stop? If you're unsure, it's really fine. So one of the first reasons why we would use terrible weather today, isn't it, at a bus stop, is because usually a bus stop is outside. We usually wait outside when we are at the bus stop, and we'll see the weather from outside. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that is very, very common. And this is called, we'll get to that later, never mind. Let's go to the next one.
Excuse me, anyone sitting here?
Yes, good job. Excuse me, is anyone sitting here? Now, where do you think you would use that? On a train, at a party, or at work?
I think it's on the train.
100%. I 100% agree. Now, why do you think that is the correct answer? Why do you think you would use, excuse me, is anyone sitting here on a train?
Because in a train, it have anyone go a train want to sitting.
Yes, of course. There are seats on a train, and you'd want to sit down, obviously. Okay, cool. Good job. And C, would you mind reading that for me?
Yes, I see.
Could you read that?
I'm looking forward to the weekend.
All right. So where do you think we'd use that?
Weekend.
All right. Good job. Now, where would we use that? 1, 2, or 3?
3 at work.
100%. I agree. And why is that?
Because
I'll give you a clue. When do most people work? When do most people go to work?
people go to work on Monday to Friday, and weekend they relax.
Exactly. So it's Friday at work, or it's Thursday, and I say to one of my colleagues, I'm so excited, I'm looking forward to the weekend. Now let's stop right there. Ms. Trang, what is something that you like to look forward to? What is something that you do on the weekend?
I usually watching film.
All right.
And listen to music.
What kind of films do you enjoy watching?
I'm watching I watch American film.
Okay. And what is the last movie you watched?
The Good Doctor in Netflix.
The Good Doctor. Oh, it's good. It's very good. It's a very good show. I really like that show. But that guy is just too smart for his own good. I think, do you know what mental problem he has? That doctor? Is it autism? I think he has autism, right? Is it autism? Yeah, he has a mental disorder that makes him very, very smart, but he's unable to communicate in a very socially acceptable way. He can't communicate very well. Okay, so you like watching films and you like listening to music. And when you watch a film, do you usually watch with subtitles, with Vietnamese subtitles?
Yes, I watch with Vietnamese subtitle.
All right. And do you find that listening to English and reading Vietnamese, do you find that it helps you to learn English at all?
Sometimes because in a film they talk very, very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're not really watching to learn. You're just watching to enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah. I often talk to people who tell me that they enjoy watching American films, or they enjoy watching English films because it helps them to learn English. But the problem is that they don't relax. They're still working. Their brain isn't relaxing. So they're still stressed. It's like doing homework for them. So I try to tell my students, don't watch without subtitles. It's going to help you to relax. Because if you are watching an English film and you don't know what's going on, it's just too stressful. And what kind of music do you enjoy? What music do you usually listen to?
I listen all of music, and I don't have. I don't like. I don't like jazz.
Jazz. You don't like jazz?
No, yes, I don't like jazz.
Oh, we are very different. I love jazz. I love it. Yeah, because I used to be, I told you earlier, I used to be in a band, a rock band. I also used to be, at the same time, I was in a rock band and in a jazz band. I was the singer in both bands. But it's okay. No problem. So you don't like jazz? That's fine. We can live with that. All right, let's move on. We'll take a little break from this soon. Okay, so this is reacting to what you hear. So as you can see, Ms. Trang, there are some listening activities here. There are some things we can listen to. We will get to that. We'll probably most likely do that next week. Not next week. Yes, we'll do that on Monday. Just because we're running out of time a little bit. So now we'll just look at this one for a little bit. Reacting to what you hear. So looking at the expressions you can use to respond with interest. I'll explain this a little bit later for you. With interest. Listen again to the conversation between Teresa and Ang and Tick. So I'm just going to ask you to complete this. Let me know what you think. Complete the conversation using the words below.
Yeah.
So these are the words you're going to be choosing from. Hey, bye for now. That's good. The answer is there.
Okay.
So,
bye. See you later.
perfect.
Good night. It was lovely to see you.
Good job.
Thank you for coming. I hope you have a safe journey. Bye. Then have a good day.
Good job. Thank you. Okay, this is quite easy for you. Would you say that was easy?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Don't worry. Like I said earlier, it's easy now, but it will get to a stage where you're learning. So, what about number 2? Which conversation is formal? A, B, or C?
B. I think it's B.
Yes, 100%. That one, right? Yes. Cool. Good job. Sorry, I'm just making a note here. Now, I have another question for you, Ms. Trang. If I had to tell you, Ms. Trang, I quit my job today. I quit my job. What would you say?
What you might...
So, first of all, let's pretend that you and we're very good friends. All
Yes.
right? We're very good friends and we are sitting at a restaurant and you are having your food and you are having some wine, whatever. We're just catching up, having a conversation. And I tell you, Ms. Trang, I quit my job today. What would you say?
I think your job today is good.
Say that again. Please repeat.
I think it's good. The job is good.
So why would you say it's good that I quit my job? There's no wrong answer, by the way.
Okay. I don't hear.
So this is we are role playing now.
Okay.
This is just an exercise.
You
So-
quit your job and I say bye bye, Nico.
But you and I are friends. All
Yes.
right? So you and I are sitting at a restaurant and I tell you I quit my job. Are you going to say bye bye?
I know. What a pity.
So how would you react in a real situation? One of your close friends. This is, imagine real life. Your friend says, I quit my job. What would you say?
I say why you quit your job?
Yeah, that's a good answer. So you can say, you can go with that angle. You can go with, oh, why did you quit your job, or what happened? All right. And the only reason you would say that is because you don't know what happened. All right. But let's say, for example, my boss was very rude to me all the time. Always rude and shouting, throwing rocks at me, okay? Very rude. And you and I are friends, and I tell you every day, right, because we're friends, I tell you, Trang, my boss is crazy. Trang, the next day, Trang, my boss shouted at me in front of everyone in the office. Trang, my boss swore at me and used bad language. Now, I've told you about 10 times about my horrible boss. Now we are at a restaurant and I say to you, Ms. Trang, I quit my job today. What would you say in that situation? How would you respond to me?
I say congratulations.
Congratulations. Exactly. Because you know the situation, right? Now, let me give you another scenario. We'll use a different example. Sorry, I just want to check my notes. Okay. I just went to the supermarket, okay, and I bought fruit, and when I took them home, they were all very bad. There were worms inside, maybe rotten. It's not good quality fruit, right? And then I go back to the supermarket and you are with me. So we go together to the supermarket and I ask you to say to the manager of the supermarket. I ask you to help me, right? To talk to the manager. What would you say to the manager? But now, try use a sentence. What would you say to the manager?
I say, I want to complain for this fruit
Okay.
because they have worms and not good to eat.
All right. Now the manager says to you, you didn't buy the fruit. It's not your fruit.
Um, he is my friend.
All right. Good job. Great. Making good progress. All right. And let's give one more situation, but we'll make it a bit more difficult. You did not meet a deadline at work. All right. And let's say I am your friend at work. I'm your colleague. For example, you didn't meet your deadline, and I come to you and I say, Chang, the boss came in and he asked me, where is Chang? So the boss wants to see you, and I tell you, I say, Chang, the boss is here, he wants to see you. What would you say to me? Just for a fun example, what would you say to me?
Okay, I say, you can tell him you don't see me.
All right. What if I say to you, I already told him you were in your office. I told the boss you were in your office.
You say with him, I'm sick. I'm sick.
Okay, so that's why you didn't finish your work. All right. Cool. Good job. Sorry, I'm just making a note here. Okay. Let's do a little role play. I just want to check my notes one more time. Okay, so let's do role play. Do you know what the word role play means, Ms. Chang?
No, I don't know.
So the word role play is we put each other in a situation, imaginary situation, and you have to pretend that that's really happening. So you will respond to me, I will say something to you, you respond to me, and then I say something to you again, and then you reply one more time. So before you and I had role play, I asked you about, the fruit conversation. I told you I quit my job. That was just one sentence. I said one sentence to you, you say one sentence to me. But now let's do it 2 sentences at a time.
Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. So we'll keep the situation easier and we'll get more difficult as we go on. Let's say that you are at a restaurant and you are not my friend. You don't know me at all. You and I have never met before. And I come to you and I say, is that your... you said you have a child. How old is your child?
My child is 8 years old.
A boy or a girl?
Girl.
Girl, okay. So I come to you in a restaurant and I say to you in an angry voice, not like happy, in an angry voice I say, is that your daughter? So let's start there. Let's role play, okay? Let's pretend you and I are really in the situation. Okay. We're acting now. Is that your daughter?
Yes, she's my daughter.
Your daughter tripped me when I came out of the bathroom.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think that. And you have evidence?
All right. Good. Good, good, good. Easy. Let's get a bit harder. Let's make it a happy situation. You are on an airplane. You are going on holiday. Where do you want to go for holiday, Ms. Trang?
I want to go Nha Trang.
Nha Trang. Okay, sorry. Let me just check my notes one more time. Oh, sorry. I almost forgot. Okay. So you and I, we are on an airplane to Nha Trang. Your daughter and your husband are sitting next to you. I am behind you. And I ask you, can you please help me to get my bag off the luggage? Can you please help me with my bag?
Yes, I can.
Thank you very much. What is your name?
My name is Trang.
Chang, you have a very lovely family.
Yes.
What else would you say? You have a very lovely family.
Thank you.
Great, great stuff. Now let's make it a bit harder. Now we land in Nha Trang. We land there. And I say to you, now let's role play. Somebody stole my bag. Someone stole my bag. What do you say?
What a pity. Can you look? Can you looking for your bag?
I can't find my bag anywhere. I've looked everywhere. I can't find it.
You can talk with the staff, and they can help you.
Can you come with me to speak to them, please?
Yes, of course. If you want.
Thank you very much. All right. Good job. You actually know very big words. You know big words. People don't use the word pity very often. It's not a popular word to use the word pity. So good job. So Ms. Trang, I have a question for you. How would you like me to correct you? So let's say, for example, you make a mistake with grammar. How would you like me to correct you? Would you like me to just tell you? Or would you rather like me to fix the problem later? Or do you want me to tell you about it when you make the mistake? Does that make sense?
Yes, when you tell me, and we
That's cool. That's fine. I'll tell you when you make a mistake. I'll let you know. No problem. But so far, not many mistakes. Don't worry. You're doing very, very well. I was actually worried. I was really nervous that you wouldn't. I was nervous that you wouldn't understand me at all. But this is going better than I thought. We're actually going through the lesson very, very quickly. I had so many notes in my book, and I've used almost all of them. I just have one last thing to talk about. So we've done customs. We've spoken about how people say hello, introductions. We've spoken about jargon, medical jargon, law jargon. So I'm going to give you a little task, Ms. Trang. Homework, but not really homework. More of a task you can do. It will probably take you 10 minutes, okay? What I would like you to do is to get 5 words, right, that you would use in your field, your professional field. I'll give you another example, right? So for me, I often use the word curriculum, or because I'm a teacher, I also use the word methodology, how I teach. So that's in the education field, of course. So your task is to get 5 words that you would use. All you need to do is just think of a word in Vietnamese that you use quite often in your field that is directly related to your field. And then what I want you to do is to explain to me what that word means using 1 or 2 sentences. Does that make sense?
No, I don't have.
So my question is, do you not understand the task, or are there no words in your field that you use?
No words.
Ah, I see. Okay, then let's take a different approach. You said that you are head of department, right?
Yes.
So of course you are in the education field.
I think in.
You are in communication.
Yes, I'm in communication.
So let's do this. How about you explain your job to me in 2 or 3 sentences, and then I'll be able to help you. We'll figure out some words.
In my job, I want to talk with talk with foreign visitor to my hospital, and I want to read and understand more documentary about advertising and communication.
Okay, I see.
And with me, important, I want to talk with foreign visitor.
Okay. So here is a better task. Let's fix the task. Let's change it. So what I would like you to do, Ms. Trang, is I want you to change it to 3. I want you to, for Monday, on Monday, I want you to give me 3 things that foreigners usually talk about with you in your field. For example, do they complain, or do they ask questions? What kind of questions do they ask, or what kind of complaints do they have? So let's fix that first. Do the foreigners usually complain, or do they usually ask questions? What would you say? Do they ask more questions or complain? What do you think?
Ask more questions.
All right. So what I would like you to do for your task is 3 questions that they ask you, or you can even use real examples. You can get a question that you have been asked before, And your task would be to identify 3 questions, and you are going to give me an answer to those questions with 2 sentences. So each question will have an answer of 2 sentences. I'll give you an example. What are your operating hours? What are your operating hours? That's the question. Your answer could be, our operating hours are from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. We are unavailable over TET holidays and other national public holidays. So that is a good example of an answer to that question. So you are just going to get 3 questions and give a suitable answer to those questions. Do you understand the task?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much. We finished just on time. I am very proud. We did everything we need to do. Before we go, do you have any questions, or do you have any complaints?
No.
Complaints or questions?
Any complaint?
All right. Thank you very much.